Nick, a win is a win is a win, and standings don't care how you win. But should the Patriots feel good after a win like this last night?
They should feel good because they won, and they had to win that game to stay alive for a bye. And we talked yesterday about how important it is for not just New England, but any team that wants to make it to the Super Bowl to get a bye. So you're right. Like, nobody cares about style points in the standings. And then in between 3 and 2 and 2 and 3 is enormous.
It's big.
So, yes, they should feel good that they got the win, but they should not feel good about how they played. Tom Brady can say, oh, they're crediting the defense. I mean, okay, the defense gave up 400 yards again. The defense, for the 5th straight game, gave up 300 yards passing. That's been done prior to last night, precisely. 0 times in NFL history has a team given up 5 straight 300-yard passing games at any point in the season, much less to start a season. And while Brady can say the defense played better, the defense wasn't out there making Nick Folk miss kicks. Yes. The defense wasn't out there making Dirk Cutter make some inexplicable game management decisions. The defense was not out there making Jameis Winston overshoot Deshaun Jackson on what is an easy touchdown, what Deshaun Jackson's made his career out of to start the second half. So they should feel good they won. They should not feel good about how they played.
No, you can't feel good if you're New England. And I'm going to look at the offense. Their offense going against a Tampa Bay defense that was depleted. Both their inside linebackers, Quan Alexander, and Levante David out, problems with their safeties, injuries there. They had 3 or 4 starters out of the game. Lost their other starter, was replacing them early in the football game. And when you could only score 19 points, I mean, they're very fortunate to win this game. Now, the reason why I can be critical of New England is because the standard that they set, not what I think and not my expectations, but their expectations. The penalties, the idiotic decisions, late hits on the quarterback. Late in the first half, they give him another opportunity to throw the ball to the end zone with 2 late hits on Jameis. The way they play football, the first half of the game, I was like, is this Bill Belichick? Like, yeah, this is New England, owned by Kraft. Brady's still the quarterback. But the fundamentals of this New England team are some of the worst fundamentals I've seen on a Belichick team since Brady's been there. Because that's most of the time when we judge them. So not a good look for New England. Offensive line, still not great. Can't establish a consistent running game. And I'm starting to lean a little bit towards Nick, and not because of Tom Brady's age, but I know quarterbacks well enough. There's not one quarterback, and I know the greatest of the greats, not one ever admitted, man, you know something, I like to get hit. And Tom Brady continues to be hit week after week after week. I think this is the 8th game in a row they've given up multiple sacks. So if they're going to be successful, they're going to have Tom Brady upright and keep the pressure off of him. But this team, you know what they look like? They looked a lot like Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, like being the only marquee player. Like, where would New England be without Tom Brady?
And just to amplify in case, because if you're watching right now, the odds are you didn't stay up for the entire game. You might have fallen asleep. Chris's point on mental errors, at the end of the first half, Tampa Bay's essentially in a give-up drive.
Yes.
There's a roughing the passer penalty that allows them to throw a Hail Mary. On the Hail Mary, there's another roughing the passer penalty that allows them to try one of the first of 3 missed field goals. Somehow, that wasn't even, neither of those were the most un-Bill Belichick-like plays from the defense. Special teams, 4th and 3, they jump off sides. That's a turnover. Yes. You're getting the ball back. So if you didn't see it, there were multiple things that didn't look like a Bill Belichick team.
And if you're talking about being satisfied that the Patriots won and just get out of it, I don't even think they should have won. When you say there are 9 points left on the board, and I know it's not the sexiest topic to talk about a kicker and field goals and all of it, but Nick Folk has basically, he lost that game for them. 3 field goals missed. I understand how the Patriots played. This is coming off last week where Nick Folk also had a tough. I find it very hard and answer this if you can. Are you okay?
Yes. Can I expand on the field goals quickly? All right. So Folks already this year missed as many kicks as he did last year. He's having a terrible season. The first kick, I'm not holding against him at all. It was 56 yards. It was at the end of the half. It was, according to Jay Feely, who did a good job as the kicking analyst on the game.
All right, let's move on to the other two.
Right, no.
The other two that he missed.
Jay Feely said he had missed 6 straight kicks in warm-ups going to that end, so you don't need to worry about that one. The second kick, it's 49-yarder. You're supposed to make that as a pro, but also Dirk Cutter. It's 4th and 2. You can go for it there if you're a little shaky on your kicker. It's the third kick. When you are trying to make it a one-score game.
Yeah, that was the time
it's a 31-yarder.
You have hindsight. You know that he's missed 2 already.
Well, yes.
But that's a 31-yarder. That's the one that Nick Folk has to make.
He has to make that.
And if he makes that one, then at the end of the game, I understand things could change, but they don't have to go for the end zone.
Correct.
At the end of the game.
A host of things that can happen to make it less taxing.
I'm going to add another thing. Dirk Cutter, Jameis drove him down to score a touchdown to make it a 2-point game. There's 2:08 left, and you have a timeout. You can kick it away there. If you kick it away there and you force a 3 and out, you get the ball back, about 1:10 left, down 2 points.
And the defense was having success against Brady.
They did. They went onside kick. They did force the 3 and out, but because they did the onside kick, New England's in field goal range, and now you have to drive the full length of the field for a touchdown. The kicker and the coach, and I thought Jameis was not very good. So, I mean, think about this. The kicker was awful. The coach made some mistakes. Jameis, I thought, was bad. Missed some open passes, threw some really bad passes. Yet despite all that, with 3 seconds left on the clock, Tampa Bay is at the 20, down 5, with a chance to win that football game.
Yeah, and they didn't. But let's get back to the whole point of this, was that it felt, again, like New England just barely escaped. And just barely escaping doesn't get you to your 12 wins, because there are going to be games where you don't just barely escape, and that is very troublesome for this team.
And the teams they're going to be playing, I think, will be a lot better than Tampa Bay.
Well,
especially the defense.
Yes.
Cece, you mentioned Brady getting hit. He's already been sacked more this year than he was all of last year.
Yes.
Tom Brady has already been sacked more. So if people were skeptical about and right now I admit it, right now what I said about Brady going into the season, listen, 40 years old, the track record of 40-year-old quarterbacks. Right now you'd look at it and say, well, Brady's been awesome. He's the only thing holding this team together.
Yes.
That's true, but that's also worrisome because of what you said about quarterbacks getting hit, because those hits pile up week after week after week, and that age is going to...
That offensive line is going to make you right.
But how much
Your
different...
original prediction is going to be wrong, but the offensive line is going to make you right.
Would the story be different if Edelman and Gronk were in this lineup and if they were in the lineup for the first 4 or 5 games?
Well, it's always a difference, the more talent that you have, but we've been worried about Gronk all year, all right? He was nicked up earlier. We're wondering how much football does Gronk have in him. He gets injured on a Wednesday, basically in a walkthrough. Strains his quad where he's not able to play in this game. This is the team that they're going to have. We didn't think Gronk was going to play 16 games, so he's going to miss some other games. Now, Edelman's gone for the year. There's nothing they can do about that. What it also shows is that Brandon Cooks, he don't look to be as good as they thought he was going to be, and he is definitely not the Randy Moss deep threat that they thought they were getting.
And the Edelman thing, that can't be an excuse, because Edelman was injured in the preseason. Nobody was changing their Super Bowl picks because of Edelman. No, Vegas wasn't changing the odds because of Edelman. So Edelman was a known quantity that he was out for the year when people still loved the Patriots. And Cece's point about Gronk is correct. Like, yeah, we didn't know Gronk was going to miss Week 5 in Tampa, but we knew he was going to miss some games.
Yes.
We knew Rob Gronkowski is going to be dinged up. So listen, I want to be fair because I've been down on the Patriots. They got to win. Cece, you say all the time, very hard to get wins in the National Football League. That was a very important win for this team, and they have the Jets next week. They're going to have 10 days off. They'll be 4-2. But this does not look like a team that can beat the best teams in the league. This does not look like a team that can win a Super Bowl.
And there are only so many times that we can continue to say, boy, the Patriots better right the ship this week, and we continue to do that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from some of our other great shows on FS1.